Meave's retinue was riding through a narrow gully when a shrill cry cut the air.
And van in order!
The gully came alive, and soldiers in black armor rushed forth. A cry in turn went up and down Meave's ranks. Ambush! After the skirmish, the Queen's troops brought several Nilfgaardian prisoners before her. Reynard, who had the best command of their mongrel tongue, interrogated. His first question: how many battalions were marching on Dravograd?
Kes Zagdran ep Dravograd ven.
The prisoners whispered feverishly, then one spoke on their behalf. They would answer no questions until the Queen pledged to free them in return. The Lyrian soldiers saw this as arrogance and said as much.
Conditions they're giving us now? Sons of whores! I say, we find a tree with a strong bough, several...
I know not the custom in Nilfgaard, but here in the north, the vanquished do not make demands.
Meave gazed at the prisoners.
Since you do not wish to speak, you shall remain forever silent. Ready your rope!
That day, Meave demonstrated she would show the invaders no mercy. The Lyrians marched off, strengthened in their resolve, prepared to fight to the death. Ignoring the objections of her retinue, Meave pledged what the soldiers wished. They, in turn, admitted their commander had pushed forward ahead of the army's core force. He now awaited reinforcements that would let him take Dravograd. The prisoners claimed these units would march through the village of Turnifen.
To lay there in ambush. Hold them. They could not join forces.
Reynard whispered, leaning in towards the Queen.
We would gain the advantage for the decisive battle.
Meave had obtained invaluable information, while the prisoners would gain their freedom. Or so it seemed at the time.
I would ask you to pledge to not reveal our position to your commanders,
said the Queen.
Yet so eager were you to share your army's secrets with me that your word is of no value. Leave my sight.
Once the Queen's words had been translated, the prisoners breathed a sigh of relief. Freed, they ran as fast as they could towards a wood, glancing back to make certain there was no pursuit. But Meave kept her promise. The Queen listened closely to the prisoners, nodding many times. Then she simply said,
Hang them.
As they were dragged away, the prisoners shouted, protested, cursed the Queen, to exactly no avail. Meave simply could not risk their betraying her position as easily as they'd betrayed their commanders. That day, Meave demonstrated she would show the invaders no mercy. The Lyrians marched off, strengthened in their resolve, prepared to fight to the death. Meave's force made its way to the place the prisoners had indicated, a quaint village named Turnifen. And indeed, soon a cloud of dust appeared on the horizon. A large enemy force approached.
We await your order, Your Grace.
Reynard peered at Meave expectantly. Though her troops were eager to face the invaders in battle, the Queen never gave the signal to attack. Perhaps she did not wish to strain her force before a decisive struggle, or feared she would lose the element of surprise. Yet Meave didn't explain her decisions, not ever, not to anyone. Meave could not let this opportunity pass. The Nilfgaardians marched on, oblivious to the threat. As soon as they found themselves within range, she signaled her arbalists to loose their bolts, then led her cavalry in a charge.
At them! Follow me! Gee up!
Thus Meave led her force to victory. Historians would later term this encounter the Battle of Turnofin. Those Nilfgaardians who survived it spoke of a terror on the field. A woman warrior in gilded armor spattered with blood, her blows so powerful as to pierce the heaviest breastplate, the thickest buckler. The Lyrians now set off toward Dravograd, buoyed by the vision of their foe expecting reinforcements, friendly banners on the horizon, none of which would ever arrive.